You are welcome to BDT class, and today I'll be taking you through color work. My objectives for today is concept of color, identification and meaning of color, color symbolism, and then classifications of color. So let's take the first one, concept of color. Now we have two types of concept of color. We have one, the scientific concept, and two, we have scientific concept of color and then Ghanaian concept of color. Now let's look at the scientific concept of color. Now, scientific studies have proved that whenever light hits an object, the object reflects some of the light rays and then absorbs some of the light rays. The one which are reflected now stimulates our eyes for us to see the kind of color the object is. For example, when you have a blue object and whenever light hits on that object, the blue rays will reflect to the eye. Then all the colors, the object is going to absorb it. That's why we are able to see that this object is color blue. And that's for scientific concepts. That's why we are able to see that objects are blue, some are red, some are yellow. All that colors, they do reflect to our eyes for us to see the kind of objects. Okay, so that is for scientific concept of color. Now let's look at the Ghanaian concept of color. Now with this second concept, it is different from others. Why am I saying this? Because we are in Ghana here, we say Ghanaian concept of color. Assuming I were to be in America, it would be American concept of color. We Ghanaians, we have our ideas concerning colors. Here, colors are used to tell messages and even they are used to tell the mood of someone. We Ghanaians. So we Ghanaians, we use colors to tell the mood of someone and also to send and even to talk to others with the help of colors. For example, when there is funeral occasion here in Ghana, we all put on black attire. Why? Because there is funeral occasion. Now when you take India for instance, whenever there is funeral occasion, they used to put on white attire, and that's their concept of color. Here black represents sadness, there too white represents sadness for Indians. So that's it for the Ghanaian concept of color. Now we have the meaning of color and then we have the identification of color too. Now let's look at the identifications of color. Now, with the help of a scientist known by name Sir Isaac Newton, he took an experiment concerning white light and then he saw that white light consists of 7 colors. Now, the apparatus that he did use was a glass prism. He used glass prism plus the rays from the sunlight. Now at the end, he saw that white light consists of 7 colors. Now we know it using a short term called the Roy Gibbeth. Now this is the experiment that Sir Isaac Newton took. Now when he passed the white lights through the glass prism, he saw that the light rays are split into 7 colors. Now we use a short term for it, that's the Roy Jebif, where the R stands for color red, the O orange, Y for yellow, green for Jane, and then blue for B. And we have I, indigo, and then violet for vein. So that's it for the identification of colors with the help of Sir Isaac Newton. He took an experiment and he saw that white light consists of 7 colors. Now, when we say color, what is color? Now, we say color is the sensation produced on the eye from a particular light rays when it reflects on an object. So that's it for color. The sensation produced on the eye from a particular light rays when it reflects on an object. So that's it for the definition of color. Now let's look at our third objective, that's color symbolism. Now when you say color symbolism, what does it mean? What color represents in a given society? That is for color symbolism. What color Now, what color represents in a given society of a group of people? That is for color symbolism. Now, when we take we Ghanaians for instance, we have a lot of colors here, and then we have their meanings as well. Now, let's take these 3 examples of colors and see. Now, we have the colors, then we have their symbolism. In the Ghanaian society, now we have black. We Ghanaians, black represents sadness. Then sometimes we add hope to it. Then we have red here, meaning danger. Sometimes to anger. Now we have yellow here. Yellow talks of ruling of a king. Then we have violet. Here Ghanaians, violet represents creativity. Then the last one, let's take green. Green represents growth or vegetation. Okay, now we have a lot of colors that we can talk of. I assign to you for you to look up the rest of the colors and their meanings in the Ghanaian society. So we have black, which represents sadness or hope. Red, danger or anger. Then we have yellow, that's ruling of a king. We have violet, creativity. Then we have green, growth or vegetation. We have white, orange, and they all have their meanings. So it's an assignment to you. Look for the rest of the colors and their meanings as well. Okay, thank you. Now let's move on to the classifications of color. That's the last objective. Classifications of color. Okay, now let's look at the last objective, that's the classifications of color. Now we have three classifications of color. Now the first one is the primary color. The second one is the secondary colors. And then the last one, that's the tertiary colors. Now let's look at the definitions of all these classifications of colors. Now the first one is primary colors. Now let's take a look at the primary colors before we move on to the secondary and then the tertiary colors. Now we have three kinds of colors that are termed as primary colors. Now the first one is red, yellow, and the third one is blue. Now these three colors are termed as primary colors. Why? Because no other color can be mixed to get or to obtain these three colors. So we say they are the basic. That's why we say primary colors. Red, yellow, and blue. They are all primary colors because no other color can be mixed to get these three colors. Now, let's look at the next one. That's the secondary colors. Now, with the secondary colors, whenever you mix two primary colors in equal proportion, you will get what is called the secondary colors. When you mix two primary colors in equal proportion, you get a secondary color. Now let's take red plus yellow. Now they are all primary colors. Now when you mix them in equal proportion, you are going to get orange. And this orange here is a secondary color because we mixed two primary colors to obtain orange. Now let's take red plus blue. They are all primary colors, and when we mix them, we are going to get violet. Now in books, sometimes you see them writing purple, the violet or purple. Now the last one here is blue plus yellow. That will give us green. So we say orange, violet or purple, and then green. They are all secondary colors. Why? Because we mix two primary colors in equal proportion to obtain all these colors. So red mixing with yellow will give us orange. Then red mixing with blue will give us violet or purple. Then blue mixing with yellow will give us color green. So all these three colors are termed as secondary colors. So we have primary colors to be red, yellow, and blue. Then we have secondary colors to be orange, violet, and then green. Now let's move on to the next classification of color. That's the tertiary colors. Now the last one will be the tertiary colors. Now don't forget we mix two primary colors in equal proportion to get a secondary color, meaning we are going to mix a primary color and then a secondary color so that we will get the tertiary colors. So when we say tertiary colors, they are colors obtained by mixing a primary color and then a secondary color. So we have red to be a primary color. Then we have orange, don't forget, to be a secondary color. So when we mix a primary color and then a secondary color, we are going to get what we call the reddish orange. Now this reddish orange here is a tertiary color. So that's it. So tertiary colors are obtained by mixing a primary color and then a secondary color. Now the next one is, let's take blue reacting with green. Now blue here is a primary color and then green here is a secondary color. Now when we mix them, we are going to get bluish green, and this bluish green here is a tertiary color. So that's it for the color work under these 4 objectives. We've talked of concepts of color, identification and meaning of color, color symbolism, and then the last one, classifications of color. We say we have 3 classifications of color. That's we have the primary colors, secondary colors, and then the tertiary colors. Okay, thank you very much. We shall continue in our next lesson.